Now for the table and chairs. The table and chairs we're going to treat just a little bit different because they have multiple surfaces on them. But before I even do that, I think I'm going to select this floor, and these walls by control clicking, and you can see those are selected. I'm going to freeze those. I like to work with things freezed if I'm not going to be doing anything with them. That way I can really just concentrate on the thing I want to work with. So here I've selected the table. I think I want to isolate the table just by going down here to the Isolate Selection toggle. Now I have just the table to work with. I think that the table basically has two surfaces. The table top and the table legs. So we're going to go over here, put this over here so we can see it, to our material editor. And I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to delete that. Don't worry, it hasn't gone away. If you slide down here, at the bottom you'll see the different materials that we made. And look how nice it is that we labeled them. We know which one's for the floor. We know which one's for the walls. Okay, back up here. Remember how I said that I use this red shellac one as sort of an anchor point, so I know where other things are, because that's a long list of stuff. So from the anchor point, this time I'll go up to the multi-sub-object material and double click on that, giving me a multi-sub-object material. This is just basically a holder that holds, well, other materials. And I think for the table, we're just going to have two, right? The top and the legs. So when I double click on this, I get the parameters, and I'm going to set the number. Let's set the number on 2 and say OK. Now I only have 2 slots. And I'm going to put it over here, attach it to my table, and we'll call this one table. So we could simply attach a standard material to it by double clicking and dragging it over here. Or right here, we can just go to where it says none, and we can select the standard material. Say OK. And once again here, where it says none, click on that. Just going to double click this standard material. And now I've got 2 standard materials. I could even name these, such as table top and table legs. Both of these are gray, so it's a little bit hard to see what's what. So I'm going to change one of these, change tabletop to green. What the heck? By the way, this is the color picker. I'll show you more about this later, but it's a fantastic way to get just about any color you could possibly imagine. Alright, well if you look over here, it's already got that divided up pretty good as far as table tops and table legs. But I think that was just a happy accident. Let's make sure that things are assigned the way that we want them. So what we'll do with the table selected is we're going to go over here to the Command panel and the Modify tab. Here, we're going to select the polygons. This time, we'll select the whole thing, and then we're going to hold down the Alt key and select the legs, and that way they're deselected. We can look around. We've got that table pretty well selected. We come down here, and we see what is the material that's set to it. Oh, well there is no number in here, so let's give it one. We want that to be the table top, which is the first material, so we put it in here 1 and enter. Now this is selected as 1. The legs, on the other hand, let's do this. Go to Edit, select Invert, and you'll see now whatever wasn't selected is selected. And we see that that already has a set ID of 2. Well, then that's perfect because the other material was number 2 in our multi-sub. All right, so for the tabletop, we're going to go ahead and maybe give it a wood texture. Coming over here to my images, and wood, and well, how about this one? Drag that in and attach it to the diffuse color. It's not showing it up in here. That's because selecting this, we have to go to the Show in Viewport button, and we could take a look. Let's go from polygon to the top level. Click off to the side. Not bad. But that's not exactly where I think I'd like my wood going. I think I'd like it to be in the other direction. So here, in the picture, it's got parameters. And so these are angles. There's different things you can mess around with. This one happens to be the W. So if I roll the W, you'll see that picture is moving. So I'm going to put it at 90 for 90 degrees. And that's turned that picture the other way. I think I'd also like to tile it just a little bit to stretch that out. So we'll put it at 1.5 tiling. So it's made 1.1.5 pictures across and made those bands just a little bit more narrow. I think I like that. For the legs, I think we'll just build a color for the legs. Maybe make them a nice creamy off-white. So here you see the diffuse color. That's what we've been putting the picture into. Let's go ahead and pick the picker. And we'll just bring this, the blues. We're going to eliminate the blues a little bit. And that's a little bit pink. We don't want it to be that pink. So I'm going to bring that down. Starting to get a creamy color. I think a little bit more towards the white. There. That should be a nice antique white. Okay, and I'm going to say, okay. Once again, you could have an entirely different picture and an entirely different color. Okay. Now I want these to have a little bit of a gloss to them. So I'm going to go ahead in the specular level here and bring this up. You'll see this curve starting to happen. The place that you can really see it well is on the sample right here. You'll see how light reacts to it. So let me zero that out again, and you can see the difference here. It's very matte. Here it's making it much more glossy. Here we can pinpoint the gloss. That'd be sort of like a metallic or an enamel finish. I like that. I think we'll go with that. Remember these numbers too, because I'm going to do the same thing with the chair. So 90, and we'll drop that to 50. Close enough. And those are going to be easy numbers to remember. 90 and 50 for when I do the chairs, because I want the chairs to match the table. Okay. And finally, what I want to do here is this color. I want the chairs to match the table, as I said, so I can copy this. I'm just going to right-click in here and copy.